You see someone you like. Your heart speeds up. Your mind goes blank. And before you even take one step toward them, your brain has already talked you out of it. Sound familiar? Because this happens to almost everyone, and it has nothing to do with confidence, nothing to do with looks, and everything to do with one specific psychological trigger that fires inside your brain the moment you consider approaching someone. And once you understand what that trigger is and how to shut it down, approaching someone you like stops feeling like the scariest thing in the world and starts feeling like the most natural thing you have ever done. I have seen people who look completely confident on the outside freeze completely the moment they want to approach someone they actually care about. Because surface confidence and approach confidence are two completely different things. And I have seen people who are quiet, introverted, and would never describe themselves as confident walk up to someone they like and leave that interaction with the other person completely drawn to them. The difference between those two people is not personality. It is not looks. It is not charm. It is a specific set of psychological tools that one person has and the other does not. And today I'm going to give you every single one of those tools, step by step, so that the next time you see someone you like, you know exactly what to do. But first we need to talk about what is actually happening inside your brain when you freeze. Because until you understand the enemy, you cannot defeat it. The moment you spot someone you are attracted to, your brain activates something called the threat response. The same system that kept your ancestors alive when facing actual physical danger. Your brain does not know the difference between a lion chasing you and the possibility of social rejection. To your nervous system, both feel equally life-threatening. So it floods your body with cortisol, tightens your muscles, speeds up your heart, and screams at you to stay safe, stay still, do not move, do not risk it. And you stand there frozen, watching the moment pass, telling yourself, maybe next time, knowing deep down there will not be a next time unless something changes. So how do you override this system? How do you walk up to someone you like while your own brain is actively working against you? The answer is a technique used by psychologists, elite athletes, and performers around the world. It is called a behavioral activation pattern, and it starts before you even move. Step 1. The 3-second rule. And I do not mean what you think I mean. Most people have heard of the 3-second rule as just go within 3 seconds before you overthink it. And while that is part of it, the real psychology behind it goes much deeper than that. When you see someone you want to approach, your brain starts building a case against it. Every second you wait, it adds another brick to the wall. Another reason not to go. Another worst-case scenario. Within 3 seconds, that wall is still small enough to step over. After 10 seconds, it is a fortress. After 30 seconds, you have already convinced yourself it was never a good idea. So the rule is not just move fast. The rule is move before the wall gets built. Give your brain no time to construct the prison it wants to lock you in. But moving fast means nothing if you move with the wrong energy. And this is where most people who do try to approach make their biggest mistake. Step 2. Approach with a calm body, not a performing one. When you are nervous, your body shows it before your mouth ever opens. You walk too fast, your shoulders rise, you smile too wide too early. You start talking before you even arrive, and the person you are approaching picks up on every single one of those signals subconsciously. Their brain reads your body before it hears your words. What their brain is looking for is safety. It is asking, is this person calm? Are they a threat? Do they need something from me, or are they just here? A calm body communicates, I am not desperate. I am not performing. I am just a person walking toward another person. And that alone is more attractive than anything you could possibly say. So before you move, take one slow breath. Drop your shoulders. Slow your walk by 20%. Let your face be natural, not forced. Walk like you are walking to get a glass of water. Calm, purposeful, unbothered. Step 3. Your opening line is not what you think it is. Everyone obsesses over what to say first. The perfect opener, the clever line, the witty observation. And almost all of that energy is completely wasted. Research shows that the content of your opening line accounts for less than 7% of the first impression you make. Less than 7%. The other 93% is your tone, your energy, your body language, and whether or not the other person feels comfortable the moment you arrive. which means you could say almost anything and have it work if your energy is right. And you could say the most perfectly crafted line in the world and have it fail completely if your energy is off. So stop trying to find the perfect thing to say. Start focusing on being the right kind of presence when you arrive. That said, there is one type of opener that consistently works better than everything else. And it is not a compliment. It is not a question about their name. It is an observation. A genuine, specific, low-pressure observation about something in the environment or something real that you actually noticed. Not manufactured, not rehearsed, real. Something like this place has the strangest energy tonight. Half the people look like they are having the best night of their life, and the other half look completely lost. Which one are you? That kind of opener does three things at once. It is low pressure because it is not directed at them personally. It is interesting because it invites them into a real thought. And it ends with a question that is easy and fun to answer. No pickup line does all three of those things. An observation does. Step 4. The first 30 seconds are not about impressing them. They are about making them feel comfortable. This is the shift that changes everything. Most people approach with the goal of being liked. And that goal puts enormous, invisible pressure on every word they say. The moment your goal shifts from be liked to make them comfortable, your entire energy changes. You stop performing, you start connecting. And the other person feels that shift immediately. Ask one question that is easy to answer. Listen to the answer completely, not while planning your next line, actually listen. Then respond to what they actually said. That simple sequence, question, real listening, genuine response, is rarer than you think. Most people in conversations are just waiting for their turn to talk. When you actually listen, you stand out instantly. Step 5. Control the length of the first interaction. One of the most powerful things you can do after a great first interaction is end it before they want you to. This is counterintuitive. When something is going well, every instinct tells you to keep going, stay longer, get more. But psychologically, leaving at the peak of a great moment does something powerful. It triggers what psychologists call the Zeigarnik effect. Your brain obsesses over unfinished things. An interaction that ends just before its natural conclusion leaves the other person wanting more. They walk away thinking about you, replaying the conversation, wondering what else you would have said. That mental real estate is more valuable than anything you could have gained by staying longer. So after 2 to 4 minutes of genuine connection, when the energy is still high, say something like, "I have to get back to my friends, but this was genuinely one of the better conversations I have had tonight." Then pause. Let that land. And if the moment is right, ask for their number or suggest continuing it another time. You are not desperate. You are not performing. You are just someone who values their time and enjoyed the connection. Now let us talk about the thing nobody talks about when it comes to approaching someone: rejection. Because you can do everything right and still have someone not be interested. And if you have not made peace with that reality before you approach, your fear of it will sabotage you every single time. Here is the truth about rejection that most people never hear. Rejection is not a reflection of your worth. It is information about compatibility. When someone is not interested, they are not saying you are not enough. They are saying this is not the right match. And that is information you actually need. The most socially skilled people in the world are not the ones who never get rejected. They are the ones who have completely detached their self-worth from the outcome of any single interaction. They approach because they want to, not because they need a specific result. And that energy of not needing a specific result is ironically one of the most attractive things a person can project. Think about it. When you can sense that someone desperately needs you to like them, how does that feel? Uncomfortable, right? A little suffocating? But when someone approaches you with genuine interest and zero desperation, when they seem just as fine if you walk away as if you stay, how does that feel? Magnetic, right? That energy is not something you fake. It is something you build by genuinely working on your relationship with rejection. By understanding at a deep level that every no gets you closer to the right yes. Step 6. What to do after the approach. If the interaction went well, and you have their number or a plan to meet again, the post-approach phase is just as important as the approach itself. Do not text immediately. Do not overanalyze the conversation. Do not replay every word looking for signs of whether they liked you. Go back to your life, do the things you love. Be the person you were before you met them. Because that person, the one living their own life with their own energy, is the one they were attracted to. The moment you start orbiting around someone you just met, adjusting your energy to match what you think they want, you lose the very thing that made them interested in the first place. Stay yourself. That is not just good advice, that is psychology. Now I want to give you something concrete. A simple framework you can use every single time you want to approach someone, no matter the situation. See them. 3 seconds. Breathe and slow your body. Move calmly with no agenda other than connection. Open with a real observation and a light question. Listen completely to their answer. Respond genuinely to what they said. Keep it 2 to 4 minutes. End it at the peak. Leave them wanting more. And regardless of outcome, walk away knowing you did something most people will never do. Because most people never approach. They watch from a distance, they wonder, what if? They go home and think about the person they never talked to. And the cost of that is not just a missed connection. It is a slow erosion of belief in yourself. Every time you do not approach when you wanted to, your brain records it, and the next time becomes harder. But every time you do approach, regardless of outcome, your brain records that too, and the next time becomes easier. The muscle gets stronger with every single rep. Approaching is a skill, not a talent, not a personality trait, a skill. And like every skill, it gets better every single time you practice it. The people who seem effortlessly confident approaching others did not start that way. They started exactly where you are right now. They just refused to stay there. So here's what I want you to do. Not tomorrow. Not next weekend when the conditions feel perfect. This week. Find one low-pressure opportunity to approach someone. Not necessarily someone you are romantically interested in. A stranger at a coffee shop. Someone in a bookstore. Anyone. Use the observation opener. Focus only on making them comfortable. End it after 2 minutes. Walk away. That is it. No pressure on the outcome. Just practice the approach itself, build the muscle, prove to your own brain that you can do this and nothing bad happens. Because once your brain has that evidence, the fear starts to dissolve. And then the next time you see someone you actually like, you will not freeze. You will not overthink. You will not build the wall. You will just move. Calmly. Naturally. Like someone who has done this before. Because you will have. And that changes everything. The gap between the person who approaches and the person who watches is not confidence. It is not looks. It is not some personality gift that some people are born with and others are not. It is simply the decision to try, made over and over again until it becomes the most natural thing in the world. You already have everything you need. You just needed someone to show you how to use it. And that is exactly what this channel is here for. Every single video on pole psychology is designed to give you a real psychological edge in the way you connect with people, the way people see you, and the way you see yourself. If this video gave you something real, subscribe. Because tomorrow we go even deeper. And you do not want to miss what is coming next. Drop a comment below and tell me, what is the situation where you find it hardest to approach someone? I read every single comment and I will answer you. I will see you tomorrow.